Welcome to Horsebytes, your go-to source for keeping up with the show jumping world. It was a beautiful week of show jumping with the Global in Riesenbeck and the classic 5-star in Dinard. We also saw the Young Rider Championships showcase our sport's up-and-coming stars in Pielbergen. We continue our conversation with Equa Ratings with our Showstopper podcast, touching on the mental pressure of the Olympics and the battle of the titans we are sure to witness in a few weeks' time. Plus, we sat down with first-time Olympian and fan favorite Greek rider Ioli Mytileneou to hear about her journey to the Games. But first, let's talk about a commonly used piece of protective gear that has some people baffled.
All right, ready? This is the hard part. Hey guys, Flying Feathers here. This is Boom. We're in the stable today because there were a lot of questions about what this is. Have you guys ever seen this? It is an Overreach cuff. I'm going to show you guys how to put it on and what it does. Let's take a look at how it's actually done. Start off with that hockey tape, super grippy fabric tape, wrap it all the way around, or you can put it just in front. And then you're going to pull the rubber cuff over the hoof, and then you're going to protect the bulb. You can see he's making it look easy, but let me tell you, it is not an easy feat. But wrap it up again with some tape at the end. Two ways you can do it. You can either just put a small piece in the front, or you can wrap it all the way around. Totally depends what you want to do. All right, ready? This is the hard part. So you need to
Great demo.
5 minutes later.
almost. Done. Did it. All right, once it is on, you can see here, it's covering the bulbs. And again, the point is to protect from the hind leg, grabbing the bulb and yanking the shoe off. So that's the protection here. That's the whole point of it. And then, in order to keep it in place, you're gonna tape it on. Taped on.
It was a wet weekend all around, with the CSI 5-star Riesenbeck going to the young Thibaut Spitz and the 9-year-old Impress K van Kattenhaya Zed. They certainly impressed with their first ever 5-star and first ever LGCT win, making it 4 Belgiums now qualified for the Super Grand Prix. And the Can Stars, powered by Iron Dames, won the GCL yet again, with the women continuing to dominate. It was a home win for Kevin Stow and Beau de Laubry Zed in the CSI 5-star in Dinard, a first-time win for the Frenchman after more than a decade and a half of competing at the famed venue. He took the win over Steve Gerda and Max Kuhner. And the up-and-coming stars of our sport shined in Pielbergen at the Young Rider European Championships, with the Irish taking the team win, while Oliver Fletcher of the UK and Hello William won the individual gold. Welcome to Showstopper, powered by Equa Ratings. Dermot, Charlotte, and I continue our chat about the upcoming games, and this time we're talking about the mental strength it takes to perform at one's best. Plus, we take a look at the titans of our sport and who might be going head-to-head as they enter the Olympic arena. Have a listen to some highlights and check out part 2 of the full podcast out now.
United Touch High Performance Ratings are the standout in the sport.
The sport, and then there's United Touch, because it's like another animal.
Steve Gerda and Dynamix are in incredible form and will go and probably be one of the biggest challengers. There's no way that like McLean's not relieved that they're going with Ilix, like the reasonably new partnership.
They'll miss to a jump, they'll make crazy wild mistakes, and you say, what was that? These are athletes, they need to be in a rhythm.
They have to just stick with their sport every so often and think about, I'm actually at the Olympic Games.
We haven't even mentioned the pressure that's going to be on Henrik.
I heard that Henrik quoted, I am a favourite, but this is a sport that still gives me a 90% chance of losing.
He's going to come in there no matter how he does. He's still walking away as the #1 horse rider combination in our sport for years to come.
The Olympics are unlike any other championship, and people put tremendous pressure on themselves to not only perform for their country, but also to highlight their skills and hopefully come home victorious on the world's largest stage. We are sure to see a tremendous display of athleticism and grit, and as the pressure builds, all of the athletes headed to Paris are beginning to get in the zone and make sure their equine partners are fit and ready to give it their all. Hey guys! Make sure to hit the subscribe button below and ring the bell to stay up to date with all the new content. And if you're loving Horse Bytes, share it with your friends and help us create a community around the best our sport has to offer. This week on Weekly Wonder, we spoke with one athlete who is heading to the Olympics for the very first time, rising Greek superstar Ioli Mytileneou. After tremendous success over the last couple of years with an individual top 12 finish in the European Championships in Riesenbeck and podium finishes in many five-star Grand Prix, Ioli is set to make her Olympic debut for Greece in just a few short weeks.
Just being able to compete at the Olympics is already like a huge milestone, but to do it 20 years after your own mum is a different feeling, especially, in a lot of sports, it would, if anything, it's a father-son, whereas to be like a mother-daughter is not very likely in any sport. I mean, if I really had to set a goal, it would be to try and get to the top 10, but maybe not the most competitive rider. But if I can get a clear round in the first round, a clear round in the second round, and just get into the jump off, then I can kind of ride my jump off as fast as I can and see where that leaves me. I just hope to go and do everyone proud as well. For Greece, it's a huge thing that I've even got in. So I know for them, they don't expect anything, actually. They're just happy to have representatives. So from that side, I don't have much pressure. So I'm putting all the pressure on myself. I kind of always had L'Artiste in my mind as option A, primarily because although they're both very, very talented, for me, he was a bit of a safer bet, let's say. Levis, unbelievable horse, but as everyone's seen, we've had our ups and downs a little bit, and when it's good, it's great, and when it's not good, it's really not good. So when you're picking a horse for a championship, it's important to have reliability, and I think my relationship with L'Artiste is a lot more reliable. We have a warm-up round, which is good. We get to be there for a week before, so the horses at least get used to the venue a little bit. It does, however, slightly hinder training, potentially, because we obviously have to be there for a week not training, whereas the teams obviously go and they start showing a day after or 2 days after. So yeah, I mean, I think it really depends. We're all individuals are in the same boat. The thing is with the Olympics is that it is more likely than the other championships that you only have one shot, because it's a difficult qualification process. Whereas, when you're an athlete, especially coming from a country like Greece, to qualify for the WEG or for the Europeans is a lot easier. You actually don't need to qualify, you just need your certificate of capability. It's really like the whole nation is watching, whereas when you're doing the Europeans or the WEG, it's like maybe the horse riding community of your nation. For me, I always kind of put that pressure on myself, and it's not necessarily to win, it's just to be proud. I don't know if I would say pressure, but for sure there's anticipation. There's always been kind of this idea of just trusting your process and your consistency, and it wasn't that it all went smooth from the beginning. It took a bit of getting used to and time, but then once the results start coming, then you start to also feel comfortable in what you're doing. So yeah, I think just being a bit kind of clever about where you're going, what you're doing, but also not maybe fooling yourself in competition. I also wanted to keep myself at the level where I was going to be jumping at the Olympics. The lead up to the games, I did my last show kind of last week. So now I have 3 weeks off, let's say, with Lartis. And because I just said for me, okay, he's jumping good. Now we stop the shows and just get him as good as we can in the body. You know, just feeling as good as he can feel, because we know he can jump. When you're young, the Olympics really seems far away. When you're young, you also don't know exactly what it takes to get there. You just kind of have this vision of like, oh, the Olympics, and then there's no kind of idea of what it will take or what it won't take. I think the best is to make it like a goal, but without the pressure. When I think about the games, what I imagine is just like walking into the ring, like that first day, and being like, okay, you have a minute and a half. Like, minute and a half to make this happen. And the first day is almost more like that is your Olympics, you know, because that's like your make or break. You know, you made it. You know, as a kid, I mean, I was 12 and I dreamed of being at the Olympics. So just being there, you know, it's like, wow, I've actually made my 12-year-old dream come true. So
Heading to the Olympics is on most top athletes' wish lists, and Ioli is a shining example of how long-term dedication and hard work certainly pays off. The pressure is always different at the Games, but knowing Ioli's composure and ability to perform when it matters, we look forward to her debut and wish her the best of luck. That's a wrap on this week's top highlights. But before you go, have a look back at Beezy Madden and Authentic from the 2008 Olympics in Beijing, where she popped over the flowers to secure individual bronze, a move Richard Vogel copied just a few weeks ago in Aachen. Stay tuned to all of our socials. Make sure to subscribe and follow along all the action as it unfolds here on Horse Bytes, your go-to source for keeping up with the show jumping world.